Tonight, we're diving into the heart of summer boot sales season to ask one big question. Is it boom or is it bust? Have the boot sales been a gold mine of treasure or have you been walking away empty handed? Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's Monday night again. It feels like my life is just a blur of Monday night shows at the moment. But welcome back, everybody. You'll see it's just me tonight. Just me. Belle is already in bed. So early night for Belle. Lucky her. And you are stuck with me as your host for tonight. Tonight we're talking about boot sales. Has it been or is it boot sale boom or bust at the moment? So have a think about that. Do you think the boot sales have been good? Better than expected? Worse than expected? Too expensive? Let me know. Not just yet. Just have a little think about it. And then when we get to the topic, bring it into the chat. You can have your say. Welcome everybody who's in. 50 people so far straight out of the bat. Welcome everyone. If you're new here, I'm a full-time reseller. That's my job. Belle, my other half, is not a reseller. She has a normal job or real job, as people like to say. And that's how I pay my bills. If you've watched any of my videos, that's mainly how I do an intro. It's just like that. So I say it every time because I'm aiming at new people who have never been on the channel. So it's good to give that little bit of an intro. Anyway, I'm just completely waffling now. Like the hat, it's a John Luke's and Charlotte special. It's a little bit of a hint, actually, as to a video that's coming up very soon. You might also see another hint up here. There. So, video coming soon. Look out for it. Anyway, in the meantime, I'm going to say hello to as many people as possible. Let's just bring that camera down a little bit. There we go. I'm going to say hello to as many people as possible in the chat. So get your hellos in, especially. Oh, what's that? What? StreamYard constantly changing this layout. Now it's changed again, and I can't find all my music-y stuff. Oh, here it is. Yeah, get your hellos in. I'm going to say hello to as many people as is in the chat, especially if you are new and never normally say hello. You know, if you're a lurker and you're a bit shy, just say hello now. Let's get back to the start. Let's see who we got in. Angel Delight was the first one in. Welcome to you. Kevin Hawthorne, all the way from Florida. Pitco Keith is in. Helen. We've also got Deborah Sardine. It's a long story. Lin. Emsden are back. Welcome, guys. Missing your videos. Sean Davis. Demise Family. Hello, guys. Paul Baker. Paul Hillman. Dan is in the house. Dan's name's not coming up. There it is. Resell for rescue. Need a brew. Yep, go get your brew. Now's your time. Cheryl's in. Lucy's car boot sale loot is here. Hi, Lucy. And who else do we have here? Lisa. We've got Limelight Vintage. And we've got Rosie. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. I'm just losing the plot. RJ's World. Reseller George, Speed Foot, El Reventa. Raid, Reseller George. A Raid, nice one. Was Reseller George live? I'm sorry, I'm at this time before my live, I'm getting prepped for a live, so lots of work to do. Cavalli's, Ready Steady Retro, AC Global, Pink Panther, Fluffy the Muffin, Vinyl Nuts, Kez TV, Ian G, Chris Tyler is in, Pat Walker, hi Pat, Bebo, Laura, Married to Reselling. I think that's the end of the music. Swamp Picker, welcome. Ian Forrest, just about made it. Just about made it to the end. 77 people in the chat. Welcome to each and every one of you, even if you weren't brave enough to say hello. It's okay. You're still welcome to be here. I won't kick you out. Swamp Pickers. Oh, did I say Swamp Picker? I did, didn't I? Yeah. Yeah, so I've got a lovely hat from John Luke and Charlotte. It is their own brand. I don't know if you've seen them sort of advertising it and stuff. By John Luke, which is cool. By John Luke on the back, 2024 there. It sees limited edition hats, numbered hats, which is really cool. I like that. But more on that. Just look out for some videos and you might see something where these feature. And we're talking about the boot sales this evening, plus some other stuff. I've got a couple of other little things written down. Where's my book gone? I've not even got my book out. Very disorganized. There's my book. Me notes. Show notes, let's call it that. That sounds very posh. It's not really. It's just a load of scribblings. Yeah, boot sales, boom or bust. eBay returns. Let's talk about that for a minute in a bit. And I've got to give some kudos to Parcel to Go. I really have. It's not very often we praise a company, but I'm going to give some praise to Parcel to Go, and we'll do that a bit later. Let's see what we've got in the chat. Have I missed any comments, or have I missed any questions? Let me just whiz back. M's Den have said, hoping to be back to YouTube soon, as really missing catching up with people. Thanks for noticing that we haven't been around. Oh, that was to Cheryl. I sort of said the same thing as well, so that's me as well. Did I miss any other comments? I think I did. El Reventa Rossa had a build-up of fatigue due to the heat, car boots, and traveling was exhausted, so left the car boots this weekend, leaving it this coming weekend. Wanting to sell, though. Wanting to sell through stock and get funds. Absolutely, Ross, yeah. I've not done many car boots in the month of June. Mainly, we had sort of some family stuff going on, but also we had a couple of washout weekends where the weather wasn't great or it was really windy, so I didn't bother then. And I used the opportunity, as I have been over winter, to clear backlog. And now I'm very, very close to having almost nothing of any great note left in death pile. I've got a couple of boxes upstairs in the loft, and I've got some stock down here that I'm working on. But essentially, I don't really have a lot of death pile anymore, which helps me a bit because I don't have the stock hanging about everywhere. And also, it brings that cash flow back in again. Less money going out in expenses, more money coming in, shifting old stock. So, yeah, definitely a good idea sometimes just to sort of take stock of what you've got, work through it, and then come back to buying stock and build your death pile back up again. That's what happens, isn't it? You do all this work, then you go to like 3 boot sales on the run, and before you know it, you've got death pile again. Collab. Not exactly, George. I think it would be a stretch to say a collab, but it certainly is a video featuring them guys in a way. Oh, Paul's got one. What number was yours, Paul? I can't remember what number mine was like number 200 and something. So if it goes in order, they've sold a lot of these hats. They've done very well. Doing merch is so hard. Talking of merch, if anyone still wants the car boot wanker mugs and coasters, I have I think I have 5 or 6 left. I think you can count them on one hand what I've got left. So if you do still want one of those, let me know. But merch is very, very difficult. Yesterday went to Warrington car boot. Only 4 lanes of sellers. Very poor. Okay, I think I've mostly caught up. If I've missed your comment or your question, please put it back in. It's fine. Just copy paste it and put it back in for me. It's great when you procrastinate for ages selling stuff and it sells straight away. Yeah. It's good. It's you know what I really love is like when you're going through your death pile and you start listing stuff that you've had hanging about for years and it sells within a week and you just think, "Ah, why have I left that? Why didn't I get that listed sooner?" And it kind of applies to a lot of stuff. It's like at some point you bought all this stuff thinking it was going to be worth money. And then for some reason you never got around to actually listing it. But it's still worth money. And a lot of the time this stuff actually does sell quickly. So it's always good when that happens. But it does make you think, I need to actually get a proper system in place where I'm working through stock that I bought that week rather than putting it all into backlog and never getting to it. Having said that, there is something to be said for having a decent backlog. You know, if suddenly boot sales dry up, if suddenly your source of if your sourcing opportunities dry up, at least you have some stock there ready to work on. So I guess in that respect, it's always a good idea to at least have some backlog. But the level of backlog that I had last year was ridiculous. I had almost like a full garage. Loft was full. This room was full. There was stock everywhere. And, you know, that's not healthy, I don't think. That's not good because that's a lot of money tied up, not earning you anything. Do you watch the women's England matches, Chris? Are you going live Wednesday? Wednesday, Chris. Was I going live Wednesday? Don't know. I don't think I had plans for Wednesday. I might do a whatnot. I'm definitely I'm really overdue doing a whatnot. I've got a bag full of t-shirts to do. But I might try and do that this week. I know I keep saying it, but just life just gets in the way sometimes. And I've not really been watching the women's football. I might watch it in the latter stages, like if they get through, and I don't even know if they've got through or anything. But I might watch sort of if they get sort of quarter semi-final and stuff like that. Ian, I fell foul of eBay's used clothing policy. Selling a pair of used Leeds shorts and socks made me chuckle after last week. Oh, what happened, Ian? Did they take them down? Pardon the pun. Did they take the shorts down? That's weird. Maybe it was the socks that did it. Because you can sell used shorts, but the socks maybe I don't know, but it could have been that. And you didn't use it if you know hashtag, did you? Because I'm pretty sure that's going to get shut down soon. My hat was 41 out of 500. I think this was like 200 and something, so that's great. I've only done 2 car boots in the last 6 weeks. Much same as you, listing what I got and building cash flow. Absolutely, I think it's a good idea. If your backlog is big, certainly a good idea to work through it and resist the temptation to buy more stock. Like focus on selling. Sell, rather than buy. Pitco's got one. 58 of 500. That was close to Paul. Nintendo Wii stuff. I couldn't be bothered to test. Fair dues. Nintendo Wii's are generally pretty reliable, aren't they? Don't think I've had a broken one. Like whenever I buy a second-hand one, they're always working. Missing my Emsden fixes. I do enjoy a good. I was going to say sausage party then, but that'd be the wrong phrase. But it's probably the right phrase, isn't it? If you know, you know. It's funny how these things fit together. Sausage party, Emsden. If you know, you know. I do like a lucky dip in my death pile to see what I pull out. Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. Like sometimes, like over the last 6 months, like I've just like picked up a box or a bag of stock and just brought it down into the office here. Just brought it down into here and started working through it. And yeah, it is interesting to see what you have and what you've not listed. Anybody, Vinyl Nut says, anybody near Cambridge on here? Lucy says, I have a decent backlog as we don't know when mum is having her next knee replacement. There's a good reason to have a backlog. Yeah, if you know you've got something coming up that's going to prevent your sourcing, then absolutely, yeah. Deborah Sardine says, sad news about our huge local boot sale at Pandine in Bude, closing the end of this season after 25 years. Oh, Pandine's closing. Yeah, I've been there a couple of times. Nice spot, that. Lovely views there. It's the best boot sale around. Everyone here is gutted. Oh, what's the reason for it, Deborah? Why are they closing? And is there any likelihood of someone else perhaps taking it on? Maybe you could take it on, Deborah. You could be the one. You could run this boot sale. Oh, go live watching the football. No, I'm not going to do that again, Chris, I don't think. It only damages the channel. It's like the minute I put something about football on, that's it then. The next 3 videos will be an absolute bust. Well, not boom, but bust. You know, it'll just kill. It'll just kill it. I'd love to. I'd love to just not care about that. But when you sort of like start working like really hard on your channel's SEO and sort of getting the content right and stuff, or at least trying to at least sort of stay on content, brand and all that stuff. You know, if I was to throw in a football watch along, I guarantee the next 3 or 4 videos would just like be dead as a dodo. It's weird. It's a strange place, YouTube, sometimes. I used to love doing those watch-alongs, though. I'm not saying I'd never do it again. Like, if the men's team, or is it next year? Is it next year, the World Cup for the men's? Like, if they got to the final, you know, I might consider it. I probably would do it, or I'd see if someone wanted to go live, like Andrew or someone, and we'd all go on a live or something. But yeah, it just kills your continuity on your channel. That's probably a good phrase. I've not watched anything of Wimbledon. I don't really float my boat, to be honest with you. I've watched nothing of it. I don't know who's in, who's out, anything. Not a single thing. I've not even seen anything on the news about Wimbledon. That is true, Dan. Yeah, it's addictive. Hi, Tam. Welcome. Hope you're doing all right, mate. Ian says, took them down. Socks were the issue. Yeah, I thought it was the socks. They were a bit funny about... Because, I mean, socks, is socks sort of classed as like underwear? Like second-hand underwear. Oh, it's a bit flaky, isn't it? But people are a bit weird about socks. So I think they class it in the same vein as like underwear. So second-hand underwear. Take them down. It's the FOMO if I miss a car boot, even though I've loads to list. Yeah, I get it as well, Cheryl. I really, really was close to going to a boot sale on Sunday. But I just thought, nope, I'm not going. But it's not to say I didn't regret not going afterwards. New car's doing well, thank you, Limelight. Yes, enjoying my new car. It's nice to have a car back rather than the big van. Apparently, the guy who bought my van about 5-6 weeks ago, he's selling it already. He's selling it. It's listed on eBay again. That's weird. He had it for a month. He messaged me a couple of weeks ago and said, "I've decided I'm going to sell it already because his missus couldn't get on with it." I think he said that he's thinking about getting a bigger camper, like a proper caravanette type thing. He said he wanted something that was a bit more like self-contained, so it would have a toilet in it and a shower and stuff like that. I think he wants something like that. So he's listed it back up for sale on eBay. So he's not. He basically had it about 5-6 weeks maybe. This is a shame, but it's his van now. He can do what he likes with it. Dan hasn't been able to do a car boot this year. Too much stock. Yeah, work through your stock, Dan. Don't get too far behind. Just horrible. If you get too far behind, sometimes it kind of feels like a losing battle, and it can be really demotivating as well. Like you see so much stock and you just think, "Where I can't even touch the surface. How do I even start on this amount of stock?" And then it becomes demotivating. Like you don't even want to work on it because there's so much of it. You don't even know where to start. So, yeah, don't get yourself into that situation if you can help it. M's Den, right? If you ever decided that you were going to have like a reseller meetup, you absolutely have to call it the sausage party, okay? That would be amazing. The M's Den meetup sausage party. And I would expect plenty of sausages available for all. The craziest life is in. All the car boot sniffers were very annoyed at my local boot sale last week. World Cup next year is America, Canada, and Mexico. That's a bloody big area, isn't it? That's like halfway around the world, just in that area. That's a big area to have a World Cup, isn't it? Buying is addictive. But I also like the social side of car boot sales. Maybe the only time I get out of the house. Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. The owner is a farmer. It's his field and he's retiring, but he has received loads of wonderful messages of how great Pandine is. So there's a twinkle that he may reconsider. Why doesn't he just like, if it's his field and he's retiring, why don't he just like employ someone to just run it for him? Get someone to run it for him and he just takes like a percentage of the without having to do any work. I mean, that's the dream in it. Get someone else to do all the work. Otherwise, like his field's just going to sit there and do nothing, innit? Be a waste. So get someone else to run it. Go 50-50 on the profits. Everyone's a winner. Rosie likes watching the tennis. Tap peddler just in after a day in the garden preparing for gravel outside my barn. We're still waiting for the final videos to come in on that one, Derek. When can we expect those final videos? I'm putting you on the spot right now for accountability purposes. How many days worth of listings would you class as a death pile? Well, if you do say you do 10 listings a day on average, I would say if you've got maybe a month's worth of listings, then you're hedging into death pile status. If you've got more than a year's worth of listings, you are just a hoarder. So forget it. You're not a reseller, you're a hoarder. And I know plenty of people who that applies to, but they're also very good resellers as well. The cursed van continues. Oh, there you go. Married to Reselling near Cambridge. Who was it who wanted Cambridge? Ross says, thanks for the Derek Tap Peddler, thanks for recommendation on Sellerator using the relisting feature right now. It seems a lot better than Zipsell, which did serve me well, but doesn't do this. That's good. I'm glad you're enjoying that. Sellerator is 100 times better than Zipsell. I kind of agree with that, yeah. I'm not sure 100 times, but certainly I do feel that Sellerator is better. I'm using it quite a lot. If any of you follow me on Vinted, you'll see that I'm trying my best to do daily cross listing on there, and it is paying off. I'm making sales over on Vinted as well now, so that's good. Demise, I like having a good back stockpile to work through over winter. Yeah, okay. Takes the pressure off finding new stock when there are no boot sales. Yeah, fair point. But are these just excuses? Are these excuses, Demise? I think. Is it an excuse just to like have a huge death pile? So, have you got one winter's worth of death pile, or have you got 5 winters worth of death pile? If it's 5 winters worth, then you're using that as an excuse, and I'm holding you to it now. I'm telling you now. On the other hand, you do a lot of stalls and stuff, don't you, at events? So you do need to have a lot of stock. Paul says I've not been to a boot sale for several weeks. Too much stock and too much proper work to do. What are we classing as proper work? Helen said I've not been into any car boots this year. Got too much stock already. No time as I'm caring for my elderly mother now, so I don't have much time for eBay. Well, priorities. Things must come first. Ian says, my death pile is about 10 IKEA bags. That's not too bad, Ian. I think that's fairly reasonable. I think that's pretty reasonable, that. That's not going to take you that long to get through 10 IKEA bags. That's probably like, I don't know how much on average is in each IKEA bag, but it's probably, probably, say you've got 10 items in an IKEA bag, I don't know. That's 100 items. It's probably 2 weeks worth of listings on that basis. So that's pretty reasonable. That you can easily get behind like that. If you go to like more than one boot sale at a weekend, you can end up getting behind, can't you? No, it's up for the price that I originally had it listed at. Even though the guy who bought it off me made an offer, so if he sells it at the price he's got it for now, he'll make a nice profit on it. I don't care about that. At the end of the day, we're all resellers, so who cares? I don't care. I was happy with what I got for it, and if he thinks he can make 500 quid on it or £1,000 on it, then go for it. I can't criticize anyone for that, can I? Lisa's got 3 sacks coming from Boom Wholesale. What category have you gone for, Lisa? Oh, there's lots of good chatting. I like it when there's lots of chat and I don't need to work hard, do I, when there's people, everyone's commenting. The owner of Pandine handed it over to his son last year. He obviously doesn't want the hard work that goes with running a large boot sale. I don't think he would hand it over to anyone. I understand now. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, and it is hard work running a boot sale. I used to run a small, sort of 40 stalls, indoor tabletop sale for the charity that I used to work for. I used to run an organised from scratch tabletop. It was very hard work, and it was part of my job as well. So, it was hard. Reseller legend has it, he who doesn't have a death pile complains about summer slowdown. Interesting. Did you ask ChatGPT for that one, Derek? Last year it was 10 winters worth. This year it's just the one. Okay, demise, right. Last year, that's a bit much in it. I mean, come on, even for you guys, that's too much stock. But this year, much better. Dan says, do you list winter items in the summer or wait till winter? You know the answer to that, Dan. I'm sure you know the answer to that. I just list stuff. I've sold quite a few coats the last few weeks. Go and look at my sold list on eBay. Go back like a month or something. I'm sure you'll see plenty of coats on there. Derek's got big piles, definitely. Yeah, it did cross my mind. I was thinking like, what would be really small in that would be like hundreds of items in an IKEA bag, and then that would obviously be bad. But yeah, coins would probably be the other. What about stamps? 10 IKEA bags of stamps, probably the smallest thing you could possibly have, like wafer thin, millions in one bag. Yeah, that would be a lot. Our death pile is in our living room. That can't continue. Absolutely, Dan. No, I would be in the doghouse big time if the death pile went into our living room. I'm not saying it never has, but it doesn't stay there long because Belle does not like it, and I don't want it either. I don't want that. I want my house to be a house as well. Lucy, when you feel like you're being exposed with backlog talk, listen, as long as you're comfortable, it's fine. We're just chatting. Chatting shit mostly. Everyone's situations are different. 2 branded sacks and 1 unbranded. Hope you do well out of them. Oh yeah, where is Jeff? Where is he? I think it might be the only show he's missed. Not here. Pitco's got 2 to 3 weeks of back stock. Not too bad until pallets come in. How is Mrs. Chat G? She's doing well, thank you. I've not really spoke to her much this week. Belle's gone to bed. You can get Mrs. Chat G in. I think we'll say, unless there's anything we need to ask her specifically. You know, if there's something you want me to ask Chat G, then I will. But other than that, we'll save it till the end. Cheryl says, when do people generally start listing Christmas items? Right now, Cheryl. Definitely. I just put them on now. You never know. Kira. Welcome. Hi, Chris. Love your videos. Are you local in North Wales? Do you often go to Real Car Boot? We sell there a lot and seen a few of your videos there. Oh, nice one, Kira. Nice one. Make sure you say hello next time I'm there. I've not been to Real for certainly in the month of June. I haven't been. But yeah, I'll be selling there actually next. The next available date that's a nice day, Kira. I will be selling there. I've got a garage of stock to shift. So yeah, I'm only down the road from there. I'm in Kimmel Bay, so it's how far is it? 5-minute drive, maybe just over a 5-minute drive. Not far at all. I don't often film there, Kira, because they don't like people filming at that car boot sale. So I did film the last time I sold there, but I didn't go around the stalls filming like I usually do. I'm waiting for them to have a change of heart, and when they do, I will film again there. But at the moment, no filming. But please do give me a shout next time if you see me. There you go. Dan sold some Christmas items. Just working through the chat. Let's see what else there is. Oh, Jeff's been here from the start, just lurking. No worries. Jeff, how's Tracy doing with her reselling? Let us know. Is she going to sell the coffee shop and be a reseller? Cheryl, I would. So if you've got some unusual items, even if they're Christmas, bang them on. Get them on there. Yeah, please do. Please do. And if you've got any good deals, let me know. Don't be afraid to let me know if you think you've got something that I might like. I'll have a look. Pink Panther says Christmas stuff on my boot sale selling well. Oh, there you go. People are already buying for Christmas. Dan says we reach our first anniversary this month. Our death pile is due to not having a clue at the start. It was a steep learning curve, but hopefully bigger profits moving forward. Well, it's always a learning curve, Dan. I won't worry about that at all. I'd be worried if you didn't have any learning curve. I mean, it'd be great if you could just dive in there and be a brilliant reseller, but none of us are that. We're always learning. Constantly, trying new things. You'll see a video soon that I'm going to make. A steep learning curve for me. Sometimes you make mistakes and it doesn't work out, but just the fact that you make a mistake stands you in good stead. So definitely, always learning. I know it sounds like a cliche, but you always are. I don't know everything about hardly anything, if I'm honest. Right, we've reached the bottom of the chat. Let's talk about boot sales, boom or bust. Right, now's your time, guys. If you've got something to say on this, boot sales, boom or bust. So, like before boot sales season started, we kind of had this conversation, because all the tax stuff was coming to the front again about how platforms were going to report people, and then we thought that people would start selling at boot sales more. And would people be going to boot sales expecting to get eBay prices? Because of that, they were shutting their stores, shutting their Vinted stores because they didn't want to be a pro seller. They didn't want to pay taxes. They didn't want to talk to HMRC. So would they all turn up at boot sales selling for cash and also expecting eBay prices? So talk to me about that. How we're right in the middle now, probably of peak boot sale season, I reckon, aren't we? It's July the 7th, right in the middle of summer sort of time, aren't we? Mid-July, middle of summer, peak boot sale season. How has it been for you? How are you finding it compared to previous years? More expensive? Are people quoting eBay more? Are you getting better deals, perhaps? Bundle deals? I don't know. Let me know. Are there too many resellers? That's something I had noted down. Not enough buyers. Are you selling at a boot sale and there's just don't feel like there's enough buyers there? Maybe sellers are outnumbering buyers. I don't know. Drop your comments in. Let me know what you think. Because we all love the boot sales. Pretty much most of us watching, most of us commenting, resellers, most of us will buy and sell at boot sales. So we must have opinions on it. Lucy says boot sale are a bit mixed at the moment. The weather's put off some general personal sellers and going to the beach. And then on the other hand, some have turned up at car boot sales for eBay prices, but can still find some gems. Fair comment that. That's kind of like most years, isn't it, Lucy? It's pretty much the same. That is what it is like most years. Weather dependent. And when there's really, really good weather, like if it's too hot, which it has been on some days, like 30 degrees, when it's like that, maybe that's just too hot for a boot sale. Very mixed over in the Hampshire way. Tap Peddler Derek, I've noticed boot sales are getting more expensive on prices. Similar amounts of sellers as usual. So, very similar, says Derek, but prices a bit more expensive. I kind of feel that one. I think that one's probably accurate. I think the prices do seem to have gone up a bit. And I remember early in this year's boot sale season, I went to a few boot sales and I heard a lot of chatter. This isn't me making this up. honest to God, I went to one boot sale. Belle was there with me. One boot sale, I heard 3 stall holders all say they had quit eBay, stopped selling on Vinted, and were going to do the boot sales instead. 3 at one boot sale, and it was only a small boot sale. It was the Abercarn one. 3 there. Both I overheard. All 3 I overheard saying that they were coming off online because obviously they didn't want to sort of abide by the rules that were being touted about with the online stuff. You know, HMRC reporting people for being pro sellers and stuff. So I felt at the time that was where it was going. I thought we were going to see more of that. I don't actually feel like we have seen that really happen, although I do feel like Derek said that the prices have crept up. But I guess that's only natural, that each year prices are going to get a bit more expensive. It's like inflation, isn't it? But now and again, you do still get some crazy cheap stuff. Demise, I feel like it's full of resellers. Some boot sales have been 90% resellers. That's pretty high percentage. Vinyl says, I found you can get more for stuff at car boots. All right, selling for more vinyl. Interesting. Lisa says, I don't go to car boots as I don't drive, but I do think from watching people's videos, people are asking eBay prices more. Yeah. I also think people are not negotiating as much as they used to. Like, part of the fun of being at boot sale was the bartering, and how much is that? £5. Would you take 3? I'll do 4. Okay, let's do it. Deal. But I feel like now it's like, I don't know if it's just people are just steadfast on their prices, or like also buyers like me, resellers, we're just paying up because we know that if we don't pay that price, the next reseller stood next to me is going to pay it. So it's like you feel like, well, I don't really have much bargaining because there's plenty of resellers around here who will just come and pay a £5 for it. So you just feel like, I'll just pay the price. I've noticed myself not bartering as much as I used to and just picking it up. How much is it? There you go. No bartering. I'll just take it. Ross says, definitely an upturn in folk asking too much, like the person selling lots of trainers. Not special ones, but all £15 each. He'd sold nothing 2 hours later. Yeah. I mean, you do see a lot of that. People asking too much early doors. Also, a lot of people are clued up now, aren't they? Because of YouTubers. Damn those YouTubers. But a lot of people are clued up that resellers are there early. So in those early, say 1 or 2 hours, even just 1 hour, when they know pretty much everybody at the boot sale is a reseller, in that period of time, people are putting the prices high, not negotiating, take it or leave it, and they'll wait and see if they can sell to the general public when they come in. And I feel like that's happening a lot. Vinted prices are up due to Pro. Absolutely. 100% they are definitely higher. Vinted prices are slowly creeping up like that. Just a slow sort of thing. I used to buy so much on Vinted to resell that I do still buy. Don't get me wrong. I've got lots of saved searches set up that I'm constantly looking at. But there's definitely less to pick from. Now, that could also be that there's more people buying on there to resell. But I do think prices are higher. Definitely are. I knew that was going to happen. I said as soon as they released Pro, I said this is going to drive the prices up. Obviously, it's good for us because we got another platform to sell on, and we can sell legitimately as a Pro seller, which is great. There's no fear of your account getting shut down. But also, it will definitely drive up prices because people will search prices more on the platform. Like when someone decides they're going to sell a pair of Nike trainers, the first thing they're going to do is search that same pair on Vinted and see if someone else has got it. And they probably are. It might be a pro seller. The price is going to go up. It's booming down in Cornwall, says Deborah. Some stallholder prices are shocking, more expensive than my stock at the big fairs. Have to be lucky now to find good stock. I do tell people, Ross, me, I do. If someone like quotes you at quite what you consider to be a high price, I just say to people, why don't you just put it on eBay? You'll get your asking price no problem on eBay. And of course, most of the time their answer is they can't be bothered. They don't like posting things. eBay just scams you. Like everyone's a scammer on eBay. They're the kind of the three answers that you get. Um, and then you kind of revert back to, okay, well, you're probably not going to get what you want here at a boot sale. But yeah, I do say to people, I'm just honest with people sometimes. I just say, look, put it on eBay. Yeah, especially if it's something specialist, a really nice camera or something. I mean, I had a conversation with a guy at boot sale a few weeks ago. I think we got it on camera. I just said, he wanted like £100 for this camera, and I just said, um, just put it on eBay yourself. You probably get 150 on eBay. You make that extra 50 quid. And I think he did sell it on eBay in the end. He's a regular at the boot sale. Definitely less sellers at boot sales. My second boot sale last Sunday was awful. Buyers turning round, there's hardly any stalls. Blimey, that's an unusual one. Peter Ray said, sold at my local car boot a month ago and felt there was not enough buyers, even on a lovely clear day, but still sold a fair amount. Interesting. Don't take any notice of eBay's recommended prices. They're just based on absolute nonsense. It's one of the worst things, just completely ignore it. Now let's crack down the comments a little bit. There's lots of people getting involved. Thank you, everybody. Peter says there's a lot of people filming at car boots looking for the fights. Yeah, it is frustrating. I refuse to film. I don't think I could bring myself to put a fight on YouTube. Honest to God, I know that it would get 100,000 views, 50,000 views, whatever. But also, I know that it would damage the reputation of that car boot sale. So I really struggle to. I would struggle to put anything like that on YouTube. I don't like putting out negativity about boot sales. I like to think of myself as a boot sale champion. Like, I'll not that kind of champion, but a supporter of boot sales, and I want to see boot sales do well. I don't want to promote fights, drama, people collapsing and on the floor, and police and ambulance and all that. I don't do any of that because I don't want to put my local boot sale or any boot sale that I go to in a bad light. I also think it's really important to remember, like, what's your main source? Like, what's most important for you? Is it really, really important that you go to that boot sale on a regular basis and you buy items to resell and make profit? Or is your priority finding content that's going to make you money and get you views and subscribers? What's the most important in your world? In my world, reselling, buying the stock, that comes number one priority. Secondary is, can we get some good footage for a video? But in my mind, good footage does not include a fight at the car boot sale, only because I don't want to like put a boot sale in bad light. I don't want a boot sale to ban me from going, because that would be a massive, like, if the local boot sale banned me from attending because I put out some drama that they didn't like, they'd be well within their rights to say, we don't want you coming to this boot sale anymore. And that would be a massive loss to not be able to go to your local boot sale. So I think, like, anyone who makes content, and I'm sure this must run through people's minds when they make content and say they capture some drama at their local boot sale. Think very carefully before you decide to publicize that drama, because you might not be welcome at that boot sale again. And if you're not welcome at that boot sale again, how is that going to affect your business? What's your priority, reselling or YouTube? If it's YouTube, fair dues. It's fair game, isn't it? If it's YouTube, fair dues. If your main goal is to be a YouTuber and you're a reseller second, there's always other boot sales to go to. I definitely would not want to be banned from a local car boot for something like that. Definitely not. Guess it depends where all your priorities lie. Dan says, I've watched many car boot videos this summer. Some people are spending $1,000. Others are going home with virtually nothing. It's so hit and miss, Dan. It really is. I blame Google Lens for most sellers knowing the value of their items. Ignorance was bliss before that app. There's a lot of contributing factors, including YouTubers, but we're only a small contributing factor. There's lots of other contributors. But yeah, I think there's a number of things that mean that information is at our fingertips. I think that's the main point, isn't it? We've had this conversation on previous videos. Information is at our fingertips much more than even 10 years ago. Even 10 years ago, 2015, which sounds quite recent, 2015, we just didn't have all these tools, all these apps, all this useful information. We just didn't have it, or hardly any of it. A lot of people don't haggle and get very rude. Yeah. Ian says my niche area is football and sports. Next season's shirts are £65 new, so my stuff feels like a good bargain. Fair dues, yeah. I mean, football shirts and sports tops and stuff always do well because people really don't want to pay. I mean, £65 for a new shirt. I mean, I don't know what team you're buying new shirts from, but my team, City, if I want a shirt, which if I do buy one, I normally get a name and I get the patches like the Premier League badges and stuff like that. If I get all that, it's about 110 quid. And that's not even a player version. That's just a standard version shirt, over £100 for all that. And people are more than happy now to buy last season's shirt with a player name on or whatever and get it for half the price, or a vintage shirt. People are turning to those. But football shirts and sports shirts have always done well. Local boot sales are packed with traders. Any normal people having a clear out get swarmed as soon as you try setting up, says Super Noodles. Vinyl says, I find you get the people who want it for nothing from between 6 and 9, and then you get the public after that who just pay what you want. Yeah, that's a good point. I try not to barter with kids. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Had a nice bonus. Our local shop now take Yodel Royal Mail, which means one location. That's good. Yeah, I was chatting to our local post office. Already we can do Royal Mail, Parcel Force, Every, and DPD there. We can do all that there in the one shop. And she just told me today that they've applied for some in-post lockers to go outside. I mean, that'd be amazing. Because at the moment, because I only recently turned InPost on for Vinted, and I've had a few, but not that many. But it's a bit annoying because I have to drive to get to that one, whereas at the moment I can walk. So if they get InPost in mind, that's it covered. I don't give a crap about Yodel. I don't ever want to send anything with Yodel. I hate them. But if they were to get InPost, that is my life complete. I don't mind resellers coming to my store. They pay better money than normal buyers. And also, resellers might buy a load of stuff. Might buy multiples. So many people will say, I'll just sell it on Vinted. Yeah. DJ, welcome. I personally like selling vinyl. I've never seen a seller sell a record for as much as it costs on eBay or Discogs. There's a few record sellers in here, vinyl sellers. I needed Vinted prices to drive up so I don't have to lose out too much. Sorry, not sorry. Cheryl says my biggest thing is not being clued up enough on what's a fake. It is tricky. It's harder now than it ever has been. Crazy good fakes now. Yeah, Rosie says put it on eBay. Yeah. I say it in a nice way. I don't say, oh, just put it on eBay then. I say, I try and do it as like an advice thing. Like, why don't you just get it on eBay? You get double what you're asking. Especially if they give some crazy price. It's like, well, that's an eBay price. Just put it on eBay. Chris, a video on spotting fakes. I did have one lined up, Cheryl, like to do one on a football shirt. But I still haven't got around to doing it. Evening to Dave ABL. I'm well behind here, aren't I? How far behind am I? 6 minutes. Tracy's eBay's going really well. She sells stuff just about as quick as she lists it. No plans for her to go full-time reselling anytime soon. I may try it once I retire. I think you'd do great, Jeff. I really would. I think you'd do great. As a little retirement side hustle, you'd be amazing at that. It'd be a nice hobby as well, like a hobby side hustle. Let's skip down the comments a bit. I need to catch up. Des Lynham's in. Welcome. Publicizing drama. Don't be a part of the problem. Be the entire problem. Tam says he barely ever goes to boot sales. 90% of stock is from charity shops. You've got really good charity shops, aren't you, Tam? Every are a waste of space. They don't collect. I don't do collection anyway. I always drop off. I don't like having to sit in and wait all day for someone to come and collect. It annoyed me. I had a return to deal with, and it was a UPS return. Was it today? What's today? Monday, of course it is. I had a return today that was a collection from UPS. Literally, I've been looking out the window all day waiting for this freaking van to turn up. I can't be doing with collections. Obviously, if you're not close or you don't drive and stuff, then obviously collection's amazing. But for me, my shop's just here. I can walk there in about a minute. So there's no point in me doing collections. I hate it. I hate waiting in for someone to come and collect. Yeah, Peter A says, I hate when sellers say this is what it goes for on eBay and often shows me a random eBay listing. Yeah, don't argue, just walk away. But they'll nearly always show you a listing rather than a sold as well, won't they? Voice is going a bit. Excuse me. Peter Ray's been a member for 4 months. Welcome, Peter. Thank you for staying with us. Dave says, I always hear a lot of negativity from resellers. Too many traders at boot sales, eBay fees, slow sales, blah, blah. Negativity breeds negativity. Why would you try and handicap your motivation? There you go. Dave's come up with one. Moving everything from Royal Mail to Every has been a game changer this year. I see Amazon rolling out a trial of 15-minute delivery. It was announced on radio. It's crazy, isn't it? Crazy. Vinyl Nut says, I sell vinyl at my car boot for the same price as eBay, and they tell me I'm too cheap. Oh, sorry to hear that, Pat. I just saw that. Had a fall in Tesco's. Bloody hell. Hope you're all right. Yeah, that's annoying, that one, Ross. Yeah. I don't see any reason why Vinted can't allow you to print those out. It's pointless. It's absolutely useless. It's so annoying. You have to go to the shop and scan your things, QR codes. It's just so annoying that. Des Lynham said, I picked up a vintage French football team shirt at the boot sale on Saturday for £2.50. I thought it was a cool shirt. It looks like it was a match-worn shirt from FC Nice. Nice. What a result, yeah. Charity shops down here in Cornwall should be called Harrods. Yeah, yeah. I found when we lived in Devon, certainly in the southwest, charity shops are expensive, very expensive. Something else I wanted to talk about. I've got to give shout out. Not a shout out because that's ridiculous. Nobody from Parcel to Go will be watching this, but I'm going to give kudos. How about that? I'm going to give kudos to Parcel to Go because I sort of fairly recently, within the last 6 months, started using Parcel to Go instead of like going direct with Every. And I've had two claims that I've had to make with Parcel to Go. One was for a damaged item, and the one that I had to do today was for a lost item. And today's one, I put the claim in, gave them all the information, put the claim in, and within 1 hour, they'd settled the claim and paid out. And that was a parcel that was sent with Every via Parcel to Go. So they paid out within 1 hour. Now, if I'd have bought that label direct with Every, and I don't know about like if I'd have bought it with eBay, but probably the same. If I'd have bought it direct, that claim would have taken 28 days to be resolved, and probably about a week longer than that, because when the 28-day comes up, you normally have to chase them, and then it takes a week for them to answer, and then you get a payout normally. I've never really not had a payout from Every direct. It just takes ages. So Parcel to Go, today, I put a claim in for a lost parcel, and it's only been lost for 7 days, so it might actually still turn up, which I'm hoping it will. But they paid out within 1 hour. And also, the previous time when I put a claim in for a damaged item, it wasn't quite as quick as that, I don't think, but I think it was within 24 hours. They paid out, when sort of Every's policy is 28 days. So I give kudos, Parcel to Go. I've only ever had to put 2 claims in so far with them, and on both occasions they've come up trumps really, really fast. You can't really ask much more than that. The way Every sort of make you wait a whole month is it really messes you up, because you end up having to refund the buyer first, and then sometimes stuff actually ends up turning up afterwards, and then you have trouble getting the money back, and then Every will deny your claim because they can see the tracking has actually arrived. And that's why they do it, isn't it? Because they know that 99% of parcels will arrive eventually, even if it's like 2 weeks late. But Parcel to Go, well done. Well done to them. The weather don't help car boots, because I find a lot of people who run the car boots don't update Facebook, Insta, websites. So don't give hope to sellers. Yeah, that does happen a lot. Car boot sale organizers are really, not all of them. Some are very good at social media, but a lot of them are very bad at social media and letting people know when it's on, off, whatever. Parcel to go is great, says Lucy. Night, Cheryl. Only I've ever had 2 lost parcels with Every. Just write it off. Tam likes Parcel to go as well. I think Parcel to Go have improved a lot. I remember a couple of years ago, the Parcel to Go website I don't think was particularly user friendly, and now they have this smart send thing, so everything gets pulled in, and it's very easy. And now I think using Parcel to Go is easier than using the Every website direct, and I was always a champion of that. I actually thought the Every website was pretty good, the way it pulled in all your orders and stuff. But I think Parcel to Go now have absolutely nailed it with the ease of use. I think they're doing very well, and hopefully it continues. Lucky says, I posted some glass photo frames through Yodel and put fragile on the parcel and they shattered. Was worried, as a lady said, she'd damaged her hands. Oh, Christ. That's not good. I very rarely put anything like fragile on it, like tape or stickers and that, because I just see it as if you write fragile on a parcel. I think like people who work for like Yodel probably see it as a challenge. Like, how quickly can we smash this parcel? It's got fragile written on it. So yeah, I avoid just pack it as best you can. But personally, I avoid putting stickers like fragile on it. Amazon Prime delivery person marked my parcel as delivered through letterbox. It was actually left on the bonnet of next door's car. Anyone could have picked it up. Well, hopefully you got there in time, Deborah. There you go. Parcel to go through complete savings. Just transferred 150 quid cash back. Yeah. Complete savings. Yeah. 10%. 10% on all your Parcel to go stuff. Anything you put through Parcel to go, 10% back, cash back. Really good. Always use it. We were talking about cashback stuff in the in our Discord this week. Yeah, so definitely use complete savings for Parcel to go. Good shout, that. Something else I was going to talk about. I'll tell you what, I've had a week from hell. I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know if it's the hot weather that is making people go a bit nuts, but the number of returns I've had in the last 10 days has been like unheard of. An unheard of number of returns. I think I must have had 10 open returns. Let's put it to 2 in the last 2 weeks, because I said this a few days ago. I must have had 10 returns in the last 2 weeks, and it's unheard of. I've never ever had this level of returns. Most of it's clothing, but I always describe my clothing very, very well. Obviously, put the size in, put the measurements in, but I've had so many returns, and when you start getting that many returns, you do start looking at yourself thinking, "What am I doing wrong here?" So many. It's like, oh, bang, 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 return. I think in one day I've got 4 open returns in one day. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what is going on? But then to top that off, not just returns, but cancellations have gone through the roof. I don't know if it's something that's going on in the background of eBay, that I don't know if it's to do with offers and the acceptance of offers. A lot of cancellations coming through. Like, sometimes people not paying for something and then they cancel it. Sometimes people have paid for something and then they cancel it before you post it. I've had so many. It feels like a daily occurrence right now. I don't know what's going on. It's probably nothing. It's probably coincidence, but it feels so annoying. And yes, we can all come out with these philosophical things and we can all say, well, having returns and cancellations, it's all part of business. Yes, it is. It doesn't mean it's not annoying. And like, when you start going into a negative balance on your eBay because you've got that many returns coming in, it's pretty annoying. And you start searching for reasons, and that there isn't really any. There isn't any other than just the luck of the draw. Uh, Historically, I don't really get many returns. Even on clothing, I don't get that many. I just don't. But lately, it just feels like something's changed. It's just really, really weird. The amount of returns and cancellations has been crazy. Crazy, crazy. It can affect your seller rating. Depends a lot on the reason as well, I think. If people put not as described, that can have a negative effect. But I think if it's just it doesn't fit and stuff like that, yes, it'll send your returns percentage up. But I think it a lot of it depends on the reason. No, yeah, yeah, exactly that. I ain't got a problem with returns. I've returned stuff myself, right? Sometimes it just doesn't fit. But it just feels like there's been so many that it does like start making you question what you're doing, like what is going wrong. Uh, I had a guy negotiate a £5 reduction, then cancelled order in error. Yeah, these are the kind of things that are happening at the minute. It's just really weird cancellations. Yeah, I've had this level of clothing for quite a while, Tam. It's never been like this. It's never been as bad as this. Yeah, we must have swapped. Last week I had all the cancellations, and since you read it out, we've swapped over. I've had a good week. Yeah, it's just the look of it. I know it's just the look of the draw. It's just frustrating, isn't it? Cheers, Dave. I've noticed that not many people buying on eBay at the moment due to not being on the phone as they're out enjoying the sunshine. I've had some good weeks. This last week's been probably below average, but I've had some good weeks during these hot days, hot weeks. Very, very random. Lockdown from lockdown reset a lot of people's behavior. Also, I think like the whole Amazon thing changes people's expectations of shopping, like delivery times, returns. You know, expecting something for nothing, like returning something after they've worn it. Whereas Amazon, they get away with it, but with eBay, you know, it's you do have something that you can fight with when that happens, like cutting tags off and returning it. Um, you know, you might get away with that with Amazon, but there is something we can do about that on eBay. But yeah, I think how the whole delivery ecosystem works these days, especially Amazon and COVID times, lockdowns where people were buying for fun and wanting stuff within a day. You know, it's changed a lot of habits with people. How does Parcel to Go work? You just connect. You can connect your eBay store. You can connect any store you like to it. Connect all your stores, and it'll pull in all your orders whenever you want, and you just do your postage and you select which carrier you want. You know, you can put a default carrier which your favorite is and stuff, and you know, also, they have a smart send at the moment on Parcel to Go, which gives you some pretty cheap prices for stuff like Every, some pretty good prices. I think under 1 kilo at the moment with Every on Parcel to Go is £2.69 for under 1 kilo, which is cheap, isn't it? But yeah, it's pretty good Parcel to Go. It's worth having a look. And don't forget your cashback. Complete savings 10% off. So £2.69 becomes £2.40 or £2.50 or whatever. I sold a teddy on eBay. It was factory sealed. No one smokes in my house. The buyer complained to eBay it smelled of fag smoke. So what happened to that one in the end? Was it a return? I'd have asked them to open a return, even though I don't like returns. But I'd have said, open a return, send it back, and if it smelled of smoke, you could do a 50% refund on it, and then give it a clean and sell it full price. Hi, David M. Welcome. Yeah. Pandemic, another reason to have a backlog. Lucy's desperately looking for reasons to have a backlog. What time are we on, by the way? We're at 1 hour 15 minutes. So we better start thinking about this duck race tonight, haven't we? In the meantime, let's do a big thank you to all our VIP members. We've not had any new members for a little while, so if you're thinking about joining, come and join us. Come and join our happy Discord where we all chat to each other and help each other out when we need it. And yeah, come and join us. These are all our current members. 54, I think we have at the moment. 54 members. All these guys and girls here. A real good mixture of people. Mixture of sellers, full-timers, part-timers, no-timers, old-timers, Jeff. And yeah, real mixture of people. He's probably going to message me now after that one. Real mixture. So yeah, everyone's appreciated. Everyone has a say, and no question is silly in our Discord group. If you fancy joining and becoming the latest member, click that join button underneath the video and come and join us for $2.99 a month. It's next to nothing. You probably pay more than $2.99 just to get in your local boot sale. Early bird. Lucy's got a huge backlog. Just trying to make myself feel better. Yeah, I feel you. I understand. Trying to find any old excuse. Considering a whatnot this week, I know I've said that every week and it hasn't happened, but I haven't really got an excuse this week not to do a whatnot. So I've got t-shirts to do. I've got a bag full of t-shirts. So about 60, 70 t-shirts, something like that. Don't know why I just went like that. Look kind of naughty. Mostly Disney t-shirts, but I've got some other ones as well. So I really do need to schedule in a whatnot and get those t-shirts out the door. We also need to get the podcast back going. As I said last time, I think for the next series 6, I think I'm going to just do me and you guys on a podcast. We'll pick a subject and we'll talk about it for an hour, take any questions and comments and stuff. And I think we'll run it like that because it's a little bit less time consuming for me. I like not having a guest on, but we will get guests back on, and I've got some lined up for future podcasts. And there's a video out coming up at the weekend. Might be a boot sale video, or it might be something to do with this. I'm not sure which one will come out. Final Nuts is 71 on Sunday. Oh, here we go. Here we go. We've not had a birthday for what feels like ages. Vinyl Nuts is 71.
Happy birthday! Woo!
Happy birthday to you. 71. Crikey. Where will I be and what will I be doing at 71? Well, here's what I hope I'll be doing at 71. I hope that I'll have a villa in Spain. Nah, that's what my dad did, my mum and dad. But I wouldn't mind it, to be fair. An apartment, how about that? Because probably can't afford a villa. A little apartment somewhere, Spain, Greece, and leave this country behind. Failing that, retired, but with a nice little side hustle, selling shit on the internet. That's what I envisage for my future retirement. Sounds good, doesn't it? Sounds like a good idea, doesn't it? take that banner off. Thank you to all our VIP members. Appreciate you all. 9:20. Is it 9:20? It is 9:21. It is the 169th duck race. 169. It's as good as number as any. That's a good idea, Jeff. Yeah, I might do that, you know. Everything Reselling Podcast Series 6, co-hosted by Chat G. Not Gina G, Chat G. Nearer 78 than 45. What does that mean? You're talking to me there, Limelight. Happy birthdays. Did your dad come back? Well, he's not with us anymore, Vinyl. He's not with us anymore. He passed away about 7 years ago. But yeah, they sold up in the end. My dad was becoming unwell. He had the early signs of dementia, and they decided that they needed to sell up abroad. They had an apartment in Spain, but with his health sort of going downhill, they felt it was best to sell up and not sort of burden my mum with having to deal with all that. So they sold up before he became too unwell to deal with it, and then he passed away about 7 years ago. So yeah, they don't have anything abroad anymore. That sounds like me at 62. Exactly, Deborah, exactly. Alison is 55 on Saturday. Is Alison watching, Cavalli? Is Alison watching? If she is, this is for Alison.
Happy birthday! Woo!
There you go, 55. Woo. Nice one, Jeff. Still sorting your death pile out at 70, Chris. Probably still sorting my piles out at 70. Lucy says, hoping to have investments in houses, resell them for profit, and have a load of caravans at holiday homes all around the country. That's ambitious, Lucy. That is an ambition right there. But why not? If you think you can do it, why not? People emigrating is up 60%, Portugal and Spain. Believe it or not, I've actually looked at like visas and stuff. Like Belle wouldn't move right now. You know, she said she wouldn't rule out it in the future, but right now, no. But I've looked at like what is it? No, not nomad. Digital nomad visas is what I would probably go for. Something like that. If it were me going to Spain. And there we go. There we go. We're thinking about retirement already. Right, are we ready for tonight's duck race? Number 169. I think we've covered everything that I wanted to talk about tonight. I am going to get back to some more regular videos and stuff, by the way. I know it's not been as regular as usual. I've been putting more shorts out and reels and stuff. I've just been exploring that side. Obviously, the reels and stuff sort of going on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and I've been exploring that because they're really taking off at the moment, especially with boot sale videos. So I've been trying to look at like the feasibility of doing that on a regular basis, but then of course I can't do all that and then also put out like 3 videos a week, so something has to give. So I am trying to get back to some sort of regular sort of, that's why the podcast hasn't come back sooner, because it's just so time consuming. You might think just going live for an hour, you know, oh, it's just live for an hour. It's not. There's a lot of prep that goes into it before and after. So, and even more so if I have a guest on. So it is time consuming. We will get back, hopefully sooner rather than later, and we'll get some more videos out. I've got a list of video ideas to get done, so I will come back with more videos soon. I'd love to. That would be the ultimate for me, Deborah, like to get a place in Florida. But you even need to have a lot of money so that you can get the appropriate visa, like a proper retirement visa with a shitload of money to prove that you can live there for the rest of your life. Or you got to get a working visa, and it's very, very difficult to get a working visa in the US. So I almost certainly wouldn't get one as a reseller. You know, oh, what's your plan? You know, what's your business plan? Oh, I'm just going to walk around the thrift stores all day and buy shit and then put it on eBay. I'm not going to get a visa on that. Definitely not. Very difficult. You know, if you've got a certain amount of money in your bank, you can get, you know, like a retirement type visa. But I've looked into it all because I would love to leave this country behind and just go and live somewhere else because it's all going to rat shit, isn't it? I'm not saying it's always grass is greener on the other side, but I'd at least like to be somewhere warm. Pitco says, whenever I sign for a delivery, I sign Donald Duck. They never check. That's funny. And here we go. Let's get this duck race ready. Have I even done that? Let's just make sure we're up to date. Right, just give me a tick, guys. Just need to. Just give me 2 seconds. I haven't got my trusty assistant, so you just have to bear with me a second while I get this set up. Because I'm a little bit behind. Here we go. We're nearly there. All right, how many ducks have we got in this race? We have 46 ducks in the race. Lucky says I'm retired, considering working in a charity shop. Oh, why not? Yeah, if you're retired, why not? Oh, Jody, resellers popped in. Let's get to the bottom of this chart. Ready Steady says, unfortunately, my birthday last week too, so I escaped to Wales for the week and became a year younger instead. Oh, we missed your birthday, Ready Steady Retro. Bloody hell.
Happy birthday! Woo!
Yeah, I remember you said this before, Dan, about the medical insurance, but it'd be so tempting just to move over there, wouldn't it? Are you not tempted? I would be. I know the grass ain't always greener, but at least go to a state that's like I'd do Florida. I mean, I just love Florida. I love it. Yeah, don't forget to join the duck race. Right, here we go. Here we go. Let's go. Let's go. We are ready. I'm on my own. You have to bear with me. Put that on a loop. DuckTales is coming on. So, old time My voice is going, by the way, so don't expect me to be able to keep up with this. 2 minutes on the clock. Let's lock it in. We are locked in and shuffled. We're off. Duck race number 169. The Crazy's Life takes an early lead with Lisa as well. AMPR, Helen as well up there. Lin, Flip and Phil and Pitco all take the lead. A close-knit pack there at the bottom of the screen. It's very, very close. Helen and Pitco now leading. Flip and Phil close in second. The Crazy's Life in third. Angel Delight towards the top of the screen with Tam's Reselling Life as well. Very close there. The pack is very tight here. Very congested there on the river. Flipper Lee at the bottom. Pitco's dropping off now. Chris Tyler's there at the top. Rosie Marsden in the middle of the pack with Mark Hill dropping off. Jeff Davis coming through the middle. We've got Steady Cam Man at the front with the Naked Duck. Also Dirt Wangler. And also Peter Ray's Adventures is close. I can't even read the names on half of these. Frey Andy Bentos coming through the middle of the pack there to take a close lead, leading by a beak. Very, very close. Tiny Cloud at the bottom. Lucy Brewer. Very close. 6 or 7 ducks. Really, really tight race. And let's look towards the back of the pack. Limelight, Vinty, Lin. Who's that? Evans. Karen Evans. Angel Delight, Deborah Sardine, Tam's Reselling Life. Tam has dropped out almost of this race completely. AMPR, Dan are close at the front of the pack. Dan's a lovely looking pink duck there. Peter Ray's Adventures leading now. Flipper Lee at the bottom as well. And Angel Delight coming right through the pack to come close to the front, but not quite making it. Peter Ray at the front there. Speed, Foot, Flips. Shabba's in there. It's all so tight, this race today. So tight. 15 seconds on the clock. As usual, the pack splits up and we're left with half a dozen towards the front. Sheriff Roscoe, M. Rajas, Angel Delight. I don't know who's going to get it. There's a pink one coming through the middle. Crazy's Life wins the race. Crazy's Life, the speckly pink duck. Well done to you guys. Crazy's Life, I think, are in the chat as well, which is useful. Crazy's Life wins. It was really, really close. It came out of nowhere. Please give me a message on Instagram, Facebook, anything like that. Send me a message to Crazy's Life and let me know your full name and address, and we'll get you a prize out. It's going to be a random prize, basically, because I've forgotten to deal with the prizes for tonight. So it's a random prize coming your way. And yeah, we could do with some more prizes, guys. If any of you have duck race prizes that you have yet to declare, that you've been saving up, please let me know. Send me a message so I can make a new list of duck race prizes. We're kind of scraping the barrel at the minute, but there you go. Crazy's Life wins the race. Well done to you. You are in the Christmas duck race champion of champions. So look out for that later this year. Let me turn this off. Thank God for that. Crazy's Life wins. Don't forget to message me so you can get your prize. Limelight says I can find a prize. Oh, nice one, Limelight. Send me a message. Let me know what it is, or take a picture, send it me, or anything, and I'll create a list, because I actually have no waiting list for the duck race prizes right now. No waiting list whatsoever. So if you guys have got something, let me know. If not, I'll carry on digging out stuff out of my own piles, if you like. Most of the time it's duck related. Sometimes it isn't. First win for the Crazies, says the old timer. World Chocolate Day today. I've had chocolate today as well. Cheers, Tam. Thanks for joining us. Old Timer says, I've got a massive haul of duck race prizes, including the Hayden Cup I will send out this week. Oh, thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. It's going to cost you loads as well to send that to me, but thank you so much for sorting that out. And especially the Champions Cup, which is going to be an amazing prize for someone this year. Anything you like, Instagram, Facebook, whatever you like, don't matter. Cheers, Demise. Thank you so much. Let me know. You can send me a picture of it and you can send it to the winner, or you can just send it to me and then I send it to the winner. But if you want to keep it and send it to a future winner, it saves one lot of postage at something in it. How many accounts does Jeff have? At least 18 accounts. 18 different email addresses. Right, thank you, everyone. Shall we finish with my best friend, Chat G? And we're going to see if her jokes have improved from the last couple of weeks, because they've been pretty dire. I mean, last week was terrible, wasn't it? Weren't even funny. So if you want to hear Chat G's attempt at a joke, then hang fire a minute and we'll finish on that note. Thank you all for joining in. Thank you for being so interactive, answering the questions, putting all your thoughts through. And I really do appreciate it. Thank you for subscribing to this channel, for watching, for liking, and all that business. Let's hope it's not the top shelf joke again. Yeah. Here we go. Right. Let me get because I messed up the outro as well last week. It really threw me that she repeated that joke, which was shit in the first place. So here we go. Right. Let's bring Chat G in. Hey, Chat G, how are you doing this evening?
Hey, Chris. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How about you? How's your evening going so far?
Well, it's Monday night, so what do we do on a Monday night?
Monday night means it's time for the live show, right? I'm sure you've got something fun planned. Any exciting topics lined up for tonight's show?
Well, it's the end of the show, so I guess you know what might be coming. What normally happens at the end of the show?
Oh, I have a feeling it's time for the grand finale joke. I'm ready whenever you are to share a funny reselling related joke to wrap things up with a laugh.
You don't really sound very excited about that.
Oh, I promise I'm excited. I'm totally ready to bring the humor. Let me know whenever you're ready, and I'll give you the best reseller joke I've got.
Okay, so think of a good joke, but make sure it's a joke that you haven't told before, and it's got to be the funniest thing that you as an AI has ever told as a joke. Okay, so are you ready? When you're ready, you can go, and then we're going to wrap it up. After you've told the joke, say a goodbye to everybody watching.
All right, here we go. Why did the reseller bring a ladder to the carpet sale? Because they heard the deals were on another level. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone. Have a fantastic night, and we'll see you next time.
You've already bloody told me that joke. It's almost the same as the last one.
Oh, no. My bad. I'll have to dig a little deeper for a brand new one next time. Thanks for the heads up, and I hope you have a great evening.
Why is it always about ladders?
A fair point. Next time, I'll definitely come up with something completely different. Thanks for keeping me on my toes, and have a great night, Chris.
Laters.